The CYENS Weekly, an industry pundit podcast about the tech and innovation of the 21st century. An open discussion between industry experts to uncover how emerging technologies can help solve current societal issues.
Welcome to CYENS Weekly Podcast. Today we have Nicolas Kyriakides with us. You've been doing a lot of stuff. Lately, we know from the Cyprus Forum, but there's much more to it. Can you please tell us a bit about yourself and what you do and all the great things that you're doing?
Hi, Parag, and thanks so much again for the opportunity to share some of the projects we have been working on. We have started working with policy making about 10 years back. So we started an NGO called Oxygono, which means oxygen in Greek. And we try to organize some small-scale events and bring closer policymakers, technocrats, academics, active citizens in order to improve the quality of the public dialogue in Cyprus. Then we moved on and created and launched the Cyprus Forum 2 years ago with our partners, the Delphi Economic Forum. We have also recently launched the Nomoplatform, which is a parliamentary watchdog, and we're also very active in promoting transparent and evidence-based lobbying. So in general, we call all of these projects policy-making innovation. So we try to contribute towards more transparent, evidence-based and sustainable policies for Cyprus and hopefully in the future for the region.
And these are all part of the Zenox Group?
Yes, these are part of the Zenox Group. Zenox is, we have a company, Zenox Public Affairs, through which we provide lobbying services to companies, NGOs and other organizations, and also another one called Zenox Policy Innovations, which is the owner of the trademark of the Nomoplatform and the trademark and the Cyprus Forum. So this is basically our structure.
Oh, amazing. So you're trying to do innovation and policy making. So there are certain challenges that you guys see in the society that lead to this. What do you see as the main challenges in policy making in the society?
Look, I have given this a lot of thought, as everyone in our age who tries to decode how things work in Cyprus and in other countries. And, democracy is a very complicated way to run a country. If it does not work properly, then it is very, very often unfair for citizens, and it is not sustainable and does not function well. So in my opinion, more and more people should be able to state their opinion on various topics, on topics that that interest them or affect their quality of life. Of course, they should state their opinion in a very useful way, and so we think that, and looking at other countries which have succeeded their democracies have been functioning quite well. We see that through established processes such as public consultations, through fora, through discussions, the knowledge goes more easily from the technocrats to the policymakers and thereby in policies. And this makes policies and legislation more fairer for the majority of citizens. And in countries where this does not function well, this means that democracy is basically an oligarchy, because only few people are able to state their opinion and form policies. So this is what we're trying to change. And what I think is that not a messiah will bring the change. We cannot expect from a president or a leader to come in power and change everything. Change has to be bottoms up, and through these projects and others, because there are so many other initiatives that we're coming to contact now, especially through our projects, and we think that if we combine and unite our energy and vision, we can change things a little bit.
Amazing. For this reason, you have built the Nomoplatform. So, what is its main features? How can people interact with the platform, and how does it help in policy making?
Because we're interested in the way that laws are voted and pass, we needed to enter the parliament. This is where the legislation is, everything is happening there. So we noticed that not enough information was available about what is being discussed in the parliamentary committees and everything. So we looked at other countries where there are parliamentary watchdogs, such as the European Parliament has one called A, which means I in French. In Greece, you have the Vouli Watch, which is a very successful parliamentary watchdog, and also in other countries. So we tried to build a similar platform for Cyprus. First of all, we built the platform. We launched it in July. We uploaded all the pending legislation that has not been discussed yet, and also we have a full-time officer, just one so far, hopefully more eventually, that monitors all parliamentary committees and all the discussions, and tries to give a consistent to give consistent information on what is happening every day in the parliament. The media are also doing this, but we're trying to do it in a more consistent way. The challenges were mainly to be able to acquire the material of the submitted legislation. We made contact with the official parliament about 2 years ago. They were actually very helpful, and they gave us access to the mailing list, so that we had access to all the material. We met with the president of the parliament, the previous one, as well as Mrs. Anita Dimitriou a few weeks ago, and they were quite supportive, I should say. Now the current, the vision of the current president is to digitalize the whole parliamentary process, and we stated that we are available to provide any technical assistance that might be needed for free, of course, because our vision is to be able to contribute towards more transparent and transparency in policymaking. This is what we want to do. So these were the main challenges. So far, it's been active for 3-4 months. So far, so good.
Sounds very exciting. I mean, besides the transparency, I guess it's also helped to put the pressure on the parliament that why is this pending for the last 12 months? People can go and see it. Because of this transparency, that also puts the pressure, I guess, on the parliament to take decisions faster. And can people also comment? Like, can they make suggestions on the decisions, or not yet?
Well, just to comment on your first comment, which I completely agree. I've read a quote recently. It said, "Whatever it is monitored grows. Whatever is monitored progresses." So you're absolutely right. If MPs know that their work is being monitored, then you can we can be more optimistic in more qualitative policy making by the MPs. Through social media, where we share all updates, people can comment. People slowly start comment, but the platform is not very, it does not provide so much of interaction yet, but this is one of our future ideas. We want to, we started with a poll recently. We want to do more polls and give the opportunity for people to vote on what they think of some parliamentary decisions. Also, we want to provide more statistics about, how many proposals every MP or every political party has on which topic, and thereby make people engage more with the process inside the parliament. And especially during elections, people will be able to know what they're voting. Yes, and we have a lot of ideas for the future on how to improve the platform and make it more useful for everyone, basically. I mean, citizens, business people who are interested for their clients, academics who are researching about things that are before the parliament, and of course politicians. So I think there was a gap there, and we're trying to fill it.
This is great. So what would be the timeline, you think? Like, when will you be able to reach to the point that you want to go?
Well, I think we're doing small steps, but I think the mentality and in order to achieve what our vision is, transparent, evidence-based policymaking, where everyone will be able to have access and state their opinion, it needs a lot of time. It needs years to change, the mentality and the way things work. I think that this is a lengthy process, but we're very passionate about it. We're working a lot on our different projects. This year's forum was a bit better than last year. Hopefully next year we'll have more impact. It will be more interesting. One of our next projects is to provide technical assistance in public consultations. So we're looking at other countries like Scandinavian countries where public consultations are mandatory, the United Kingdom, the European Union, and we're preparing a concept note to bring to the Minister of Councils, to the Council of Ministers, and hopefully change the process of how public consultations are being conducted. And also another one of our aspirations is to export this knowledge in other neighboring countries which are which are less developed, let's say, than Cyprus, like the Eastern Europe, Africa, the Middle East. So hopefully this ecosystem that we're trying to create will go outside of Cyprus at some point.
Sounds very exciting. Well, you guys are doing great. I was at the forum. Cyprus Forum was amazing, very professionally organized. You're setting up the level so high. So we're looking forward to see what's coming up next year. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming and joining us in this podcast. Any words to conclude before we close?
Well done on what you're doing. I think you're also doing a great job, and we're very happy to get to know you guys and start working with you, with CYENS. And we want our projects, we want the Cyprus Forum to become an umbrella of all these voices that we're trying to change things. And looking forward to further enhancing our cooperation. And thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This podcast is brought to you by CYENS, former RISE, the Research Centre of Excellence in Cyprus, focusing on interactive media, smart systems and emerging technologies. For more information, please check our website on cyens.org.cy.